Hi guys, so I'm back with a new video and let's talk about Wolfman. So, as you know, this was my most anticipated film of the year. I've talked a little bit about it in my most anticipated video, so I'm not gonna get too much into it. I'm just gonna say that I obviously had high expectations, but I also knew the story would be really simple. There wouldn't be a lot to it, but I felt the same way about The Invisible Man. Actually, when I watched the trailer for The Invisible Man, I thought it would be really bad. Turns out it's one of my favorite films ever. So yeah, I was hopeful, and I guess let's just get to the video. So if you don't know what Wolfman is about, I would say, how can I say it without spoiling too much? It's about this guy that has to get back to his family house, and he takes his family with him, and in there are some mysteries. I would put it that way, but we obviously all know that this is a werewolf film, right? As far as the cast goes, the main two actors are Christopher Abbott and Julia Garner. And I guess post that, let's get to my thoughts. So, as I said, this was my most anticipated film. I tried to manage my expectations, and I feel like the film was exactly what I thought it would be, but I was indeed expecting more. What makes this film isn't the story. I already knew that the story would be really simple. What makes this film is the stylization. Being a Lionel film, I was expecting some interesting choices, camera movements, and he's not a director that over stylizes his films, but there's something about his stylization that is just really interesting. And yeah, The Invisible Man has some really, really good camera movements, and it plays with that whole thing. Is something there or isn't it? And with this film, he couldn't really do that, but he tried in a few shots, I noticed. And yeah, the stylization of the film is really good. There's some really intense moments that I was just yeah. But I would say the best thing about the film is the sound design. The sound design makes the film. Obviously, when I went into the film, I was expecting good cinematography and a good transformation. When it comes to werewolf films, you are always expecting, always looking forward to the transformation. And the transformation here starts more with the sound, and I loved it. There's so many really good moments. Right away when the movie starts, the surround, you just feel the surround sound, but there's some really good sound design choices that I loved, and I think that's my favorite part of the film. That, and obviously the stylization, how the film looks. As far as the acting goes, I actually, as I said in my most anticipated video, this was supposed to star Ryan Gosling, but after watching the film, I don't think he would be the right actor for this. What Christopher Abbott does here just suits him really well. I can totally see him as the werewolf, and I don't know, just his vibe. I don't know if Ryan Gosling would be better. It would be definitely be different, but yeah, right now I'm satisfied with what Christopher Abbott did. The acting was good. As I said, there's not a lot to it, but everyone was good. There's also when it comes to the horror, as far as I know, everything was practical effects, and you can totally tell there's some really gross and gory moments. It's not a movie full of gore, but there's some shots that are like pretty uncomfortable, so I also like that. And yeah, I guess at the end of the day, I don't think this will make my top of the year, but it's still a really good film. I think people won't be disappointed. It's a good remake. It's not as good as The Invisible Man, unfortunately, but it's still a really good film. And post that, let's get to my scores. So overall, I'm gonna give the film a 3.5 out of 5. I think it's fair because for the most part, like as I said, visually, sound, acting, everything is really good. The story is good, but there's not a lot to chew on. But yeah, there's a lot to love about the film. Cinematography, obviously, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I think there's a lot of really nice shots. Not as good, as I said, as The Invisible Man, but really good. And originality, I mean, unfortunately, I think I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. I don't think it's the most original story. I felt like a lot of it was predictable when it comes to the story, but it's a nice watch, and yeah, everything else makes up for the story. So guys, these are my thoughts on Wolfman. Not as good as I wanted it to be, obviously being my number one most anticipated. I was expecting a lot, but at the end of the day, it's not a bad film, it's a good film. So yeah, I feel like most people won't have as high expectations as I did. So a lot of people, I think, will enjoy the film. And yeah, guys, if you have seen Wolfman already, let me know in the comments. If you haven't, let me know if you are looking forward to it. Let me know if you are a fan of the other Lionel films, Invisible Man, Upgrade, Insidious 3. And yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!